While most of you were busy enjoying your holiday break and stuffing your faces, a US pilot in Iran just pulled off a rescue that looks like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood script. You've probably seen 1,000 armchair generals on social media acting like experts. But let's set the record straight. Here is the military version, unfiltered, cynical, and as raw as reality gets. We're going to break this down from 3 angles: the pilot, the people who want his head, and the rescue team. Buckle up, because we're going step by step, from the moment that Guy gets blasted out of his cockpit to the moment he's either hauled out of the mud or, in the worst case scenario, ends up in a propaganda video. Point 1. The ejection. Forget Top Gun. Forget Tom Cruise looking pristine with perfect hair after pulling the handle. In the real world, you're being punched into the atmosphere at brutal speeds. It's pushing the human body to its absolute breaking point. You don't hit the ground running like a hero. You hit the ground with fractures, dislocations, or massive internal trauma. If you eject, your body pays the toll. Seeing a pilot bail out and then dodge helicopter fire while sprinting is a fantasy for teenagers. In real life, that pilot is likely injured, and his mobility is, at best, garbage. This is where SERE kicks in: survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. This is the course that separates the pros from the amateurs. They're taught to survive even when they're broken, to endure the unthinkable until someone comes for them or they reach a safe zone. And keep in mind, in a place like Iran, a safe zone might just be a corner controlled by a local group that happens to hate the government more than they hate you. They teach you to find water, to avoid starving, and, above all, to be a ghost. You hide during the day and move at night. If you move in the daylight, you're just a target with legs. Point 2. The hiding spot. The ejection seat has a locator beacon, but listen closely. That marks where the hunk of metal landed, not where the pilot is. The pilot has to get away from that crash site and disappear into the environment. And I'm not talking about hiding from armored divisions. I'm talking about avoiding the local shepherd, the farmer, or the kid wandering by. In a rural area, one curious glance is a death sentence. Your only job is to stay invisible. Point 3. The CSR team, combat search and rescue. This is where the cavalry comes in. And no, it's not drones. Drones are great for YouTube videos and for the know-it-alls who think they understand warfare. But a drone can't pull a bleeding man out of the dirt. For that, you need a helicopter and a crew with a very bad attitude. Let's be clear. SERE is what civilian emergency services do to find a lost hiker. XARMAB is entering hostile territory, guns blazing if necessary, to recover an asset. These teams always carry a combat medic. Like I said, the pilot will be hurt. Ejection isn't a playground slide. It's a physical trauma that can leave your leg looking like an accordion. The identification, the moment of truth. When the rescue team arrives, there are no hugs and no tears. The pilot is treated as a hostile until proven otherwise. They will have a weapon pointed at his face. They don't ask for ID. They use an authentication code, a challenge and a response. Back in my day, we had our own codes, names of family members or absurd details only we would know. If the pilot doesn't answer correctly, whether due to a head injury or blood loss, the team leader has to make a cold, hard decision. Is this our guy, or is it a trap? If the code fails, that man is an enemy until the situation is cleared. The harsh political reality. If the pilot is captured, the media circus begins. In the West, we've become soft, a fragile society that starts weeping the moment we see a prisoner on TV. We've allowed civilians to tell us how to fight wars. Russia or China couldn't care less if one of theirs is captured. But here, a captured pilot is emotional blackmail for an entire nation. War is ugly. There is torture and there is pain. If we don't like it, we should turn off the TV. But we shouldn't let living room sensitivities dictate military operations. To wrap up, 2 golden rules. 1. Air superiority. You don't send helicopters into a meat grinder if you don't control the skies. You aren't going to risk 8 elite operators to save one if the mission is a statistical suicide. It's a cold reality, but welcome to war. You don't trade 6 lives for 1. 2. Intelligence. HUMINT. Spies on the ground are everything. Sometimes a local contact can keep a pilot alive for weeks, passing him food or meds on a road that looks more like a goat path than a 21st century highway. Bottom line, this isn't the movies. It's sweat, blood, and decisions that nobody wants to make. If the rescue works, we'll forget about it in 3 days. If it fails, we'll have a national drama for the next 5 years. That's the business. Hopefully, this less cinematic view helped you understand what's actually happening out there. See you in the next one, assuming we don't get shot down first.